Congratulations. You've received a new management job, a new position, and this is absolutely fantastic. But let's be real. It can be very daunting to take on a new role with new responsibilities. You're probably asking yourself, will I be able to meet the expectations of my new role? How can I effectively manage my team? What if, heaven forbid, I make a mistake that has a negative impact on the company? First, let's take a deep breath because I want you to understand, my friend, you're not alone. It's natural to have fears and concerns when taking on any new challenge, whether that be at work, whether that be in your personal life. But here's the thing. You got this. That's why you got hired, because you were chosen for this role and you have the skills and abilities which were recognized by the company that hired you. Now, in today's video, I want to share 5 very important things to do on your first day. Now, with this list, you may think it's basic, and I'll be honest with you, it absolutely is. Because when we start something new, the best or the easiest way to succeed is by going back to the basics, not getting fancy, not thinking too much about it. Now, focusing on the basics is going to help calm our nerves and will allow us to focus. So the first thing is, I want you to arrive early. If you slide in the door at the exact start time, you're going to be flustered, you're going to feel unprepared. Instead, arrive at least 15 minutes early. Get time in the building just to frickin' breathe, just to climatize yourself to the environment. Perhaps meet people slowly, one at a time as they arrive. See, arriving early helps you it helps relieve the stress and it helps make a good first impression. Now, the next thing that we want to do, and this is important, you want to introduce yourself to everyone you meet. Do not, I repeat, do not wait for others to come to you. Do not wait for someone to make the introductions. When you sit and you wait for others, what can happen is it already starts to make others a little uneasy around you. They're judging you. They start thinking that you are either a wuss, you can't come and introduce yourself, or you're an asshole and you think that you're better than everybody. Instead, what I want you to do is take the bull by the horns. Introduce yourself. Try to remember names. I know, easier said than done, especially when you're a little bit nervous, but be humble. Ask questions and listen. Try to be loose and not rigid. The next thing that you're going to do is you are going to observe. This means you're watching everything. You need to learn what your job is, but what I think is more important is you need to observe who's who. Who do your staff listen to? Or who do the staff listen to? It's not always the boss. Usually, amongst the employees, there's a group leader. How do the managers work with the staff? Do the managers, based on their actions and their conversations, do they get favorable results? What's the attitude between the staff and the leadership? Is it good or is it strained? Do you see friendly banter or is it a more professional and strict environment? Now, I'm not saying what is right or wrong here. What I'm saying is you need to pay attention so that you know what it is. If you're already in a management role or you're trying to get there, consider subscribing now because this is what the channel's all about. Practical advice to help you become a more confident leader. Next, try to set a meeting with your boss. I'm sure you've met them. I'm sure during the hiring process, at some point you've been introduced to your boss. Maybe they even hired you, but I want you to try to get some alone time with them so that you can understand how they see your role and how they see you fitting into the system. What you really want to learn here is what are their expectations of you. And here's one killer question that you can ask. In 6 months from now, what would need to be done or implemented, etc., for me to be considered a success in this role? Are you kidding me? I'll bet you that your manager, your boss has never been asked this question. But this question does two things for you. One, it allows you to learn exactly how you will be judged, and you will be judged. But second, it puts you in a favorable spot with your boss because, like I said, I'll bet no one has asked this question. So with that in mind, they're going to help you be successful. It's that whole Jedi mind trick. Now, this is one thing that most managers, most new hires never do. They never celebrate the day. Listen, you've won the day. You won the job. That is something that we need to acknowledge. So often we just jump into the grind. We don't take the time to reflect. We don't take the time to think that we just got some pretty big wins here. So you need to soak it up. You need to take it in. You need that opportunity to be grateful. Even if your day didn't go perfectly, and more likely than not, it's not perfect. I want you to look at what went well. Now, obviously, there's so much more that you need to consider when you're starting your first day and when you're trying to start it off right. So with that said, meet me in this video where I go over a few other things that you'll want to consider when you're starting on day one. So get your coffee. I'll see you there. Ciao.